A woman observes her husband next to a young woman, and the laughter about that situation. The woman decides to approximate giving a kiss to her husband, thus surprising him while the young woman clearly becomes uncomfortable aside the woman of laughter, and the man apologizes to her, thus presenting his bride to the young woman. The woman says it was a pleasure and she responds the same. The man explains that the young woman was an old friend and the young woman says she did not imagine that she was engaged. The woman asks if she would not congratulate the two. The young woman says yes because she was happy for the engagement of the two. The woman then changes the subject asking the reason for the conversation of the two before arriving. The man replies that he was congratulating the young woman for the event he organized because it was very good. The woman agrees explaining that her fiancé did not even want to get out of bed and had to insist, but the man says that his bride was too exaggerated. The young woman replies that yes and that she should be very fun, so asking the woman who knows the man for a long time, since childhood and who are very proximos, so asking the man if it was true. But the woman denies because her husband had never spoken of the young, so not knowing of his existence until the moment. The young questioned to the man if he never mentioned his best friends. The woman interrupts asking her husband to get something to drink because he was with something intact in his throat. The man agrees asking him to take good care of his wife while the young woman agrees. The woman says that the event was divine, and the young woman thanks strongly. A waiter offers some snacks, and the young woman takes one to offer to the woman explaining that she would love it. The waiter asks permission. The young woman thanks and tastes the snack, but finds the taste bad and throws away, commenting that she was not used to that world, and the young woman says she realized already. But the woman explains that she had something she was very used to. The young woman becomes curious and the woman replies that husbands of women devour her with looks. The young woman is surprised as the woman laughs and explains that always happened to her because men get tired of women from their incredible world whining for being a pity. The young woman denies explaining that it was not only the husbands because everyone was looking at her, explaining that it was her way of dressing so calling attention to intitulando as the main attraction, explaining that she was just a simple appetizer or better, a simple snack. The two face each other with much debauchery as the woman tells her to be very careful with that mouth. The young woman replies that at least she had class and the woman says that at least she did not pretend to be what she is not, while pulling her hair explaining that she needed a treatment for that dry hair. The young woman congratulates her for showing the real monster inside her. The women continue to farpando while the man comes back with the drink. The woman asks for a toast and tastes the drink but ends up feeling bad asking her husband to exchange for a beer. The man says yes. As soon as she leaves, the woman explains that her husband loves her so much, and that in fact can be a monster as she says, but that in fact the young woman would be a little jealous of everything. The woman mocks about that situation. The young woman does not understand what she says. The woman replies that she thought she still did not notice how she insinuates and throws herself at her fiancé. The young woman contradicts her, and replies that the man is wonderful, thus making sure that the woman did not deserve him. The woman answers that this is what she thought because he is married and happy. The woman asks her to understand that no matter how Mayan she does not like it could not change and neither anyone. The young woman says that she would not be so sure of it, for men like him used to get quickly sick of feudal women and leaks. The woman asks if she could be sincere and the young woman replies that yes. The woman then says that if the young woman wanted to conquer her fiancé who followed her and tried, the young woman asks if winning she would not care. The woman asks if she thought she was silly, explaining that she knew she was dying of love for her husband but that the opportunity has passed. The young woman explains that she and the man had a beautiful past. The woman intensifies her speech explaining that it was only in the past. The young woman is sad as the woman says that much doubt that her husband returned to love someone like her having an amazing woman on the side. The young woman gives a dull smile while the woman calls her husband several times, as soon as the man approached so asking the young woman what had happened. The woman explained that they were talking about feelings and how they change over time just like the two who are in love with each other. The man then agrees, sincerely explaining that it was good that the two were getting along, because the young woman could be invited to the wedding party. The woman agrees but ends up remembering the speech of the young woman, who said that the two were from a completely different world. The young woman ends up being surprised by denying and asking for forgiveness, explaining that it was in the best sense that he meant. The woman smiles saying she understood, explaining to her husband that events like that are tiring so asking to leave. The man agrees so calling her to go. Before leaving the woman whispers in the ear of the young woman she lost. thus going away with all the debauchery of the world, teaching a lesson to the young.